Let's take a moment to connect what we've been building together. In episode 2, you began to understand your value. In episode 3, you learned how to communicate that value. In episode 4, you started positioning yourself so opportunities can find you. Now, something important begins to happen. People are noticing you. Someone says, send your CV. Another says, apply for this role. And in that moment, everything we've been building is tested. Because, let me tell you something honestly. Many people don't lose opportunities because they are not good. They lose opportunity because they are not prepared when opportunity comes. So today, let's sit together and fix that. Let's talk about how to present your value on paper in a way that makes people stop, read, and consider you. We'll be treating all of this in segments as usual. And here, we need to talk about saying your CV the right way. Before we even start writing anything, I want you to shift your mindset, because how you see your CV will determine how you write it. Many people see their CV as a requirement, a document, something to just submit. But that thinking is limiting you. Let me give you a better way to see it. Your CV is a marketing document. It is where you are quietly saying, this is what I can do, and this is why you should consider me. Think about it like this. If you meet someone physically, you can smile, you can explain, you can adjust. But your CV, it doesn't get a second chance. It either creates interest or gets ignored. So, the real question is not, do you have a CV? The real question is your CV communicating your value clearly? Now, let's talk about why many CVs fail. Now that you understand what a CV really is, let's talk about why many of them don't work. And I want you to listen carefully here, because you may recognize yourself. One major issue is lack of clarity. You open some CVs and you see too many words. You see that there is no direction, no clear message, and the recruiter is asking silently, what exactly does this person do? Then there is another issue, listing duties instead of value. You write, I was responsible for, I assisted with, but you never say what changed because of you. Let me explain the difference. I assisted in office work versus I organized office records, improving document retrieval time. You see that this sentence have same role but different impacts. Another issue is using one CV for everything, every job. You apply for banking job, admin job, NGO job, yet make use of the same CV, while each role is looking for something specific. And finally, poor structure and presentation. Even if you have value, if your CV is difficult to read, it will be ignored. So now that we've seen the problems, let's build it, or let's rebuild it properly. Now imagine that we're sitting together and we're building your CV from scratch. We're going to go it step by step. First step, you start your CV with your identity, that is your header. This is simple but important. Here you need to write your name, your phone number, your professional email, and your location. Please avoid emails like sweetgirl123@gmail and similar email. Use something clean like your name at gmail.com. Already that changes perception. The next section should bear your professional summary. This is where many people miss it. Your summary is not where you write, "I am hardworking and passionate." This is too general. Instead, this is where you bring in everything from episode 2 and 3. That is, your value plus your clarity. Example: I am a detail-oriented graduate who supports organizations by organizing information, improving communication, and ensuring smooth daily operations. Now when someone reads that, they begin to understand you. The next section should bear your skill information. You are not meant to list everything. You are just to write what is relevant to the job you are applying for or the company you are applying to. Instead of saying dancing, singing, cooking, you need to focus on the relevant value, may it be communication, data entry, customer service, or organization. Ask yourself, does this skill solve a problem? If yes, then include it. The next section should have details about your experience, even if you think you don't have any. This is where many people get discouraged. They say, "I don't have experience." But let's look deeper. Have you helped someone? Have you assisted in something? Have you volunteered? Have you done a project? That is experience. Now the key is how you present it. Instead of saying or writing, "I helped in church office," say, "Assisted in organizing records and coordinating activities, improving efficiency in daily operations." Now this sounds professional. So the next section should talk about your education. Here you need to keep it simple, no long story. Then after your education, you talk about your achievement. Even small ones matters. Indicate your certificate. Write about your certificate, recognition and leadership roles in this section because it builds credibility. Now let's briefly talk about how to make your CV stand out. We move from good to strong. First, you need to tailor every CV. Before you apply, read the job description. What are they looking for? Is the questions you should be asking yourself. Then adjust your CV to reflect that. Second, use action words. You are to start your sentence with action words such as organized, managed, assisted, coordinated, and many of those action words because it makes your expression sound active and confident. Another thing that makes your CV stand out is you have to show results where possible. Even small result matters. Talk about improvement, talk about the support, talk about efficiency. And then what makes your CV stand out again is you need to keep it clean and readable. Use headings, use spacing, and then you need to keep it between 1 to 2 pages. Make it easy for someone to scan quickly because recruiters actually don't read deeply. Another thing you need to do is to remove what does not add value. Not everything belongs on your CV. Be intentional about what you add to a CV when writing. Here are a few application mistakes that cost people. Now imagine this. You have a good CV, but you still lose the opportunity You may want to know why. Reason is because of small mistakes, like sending without checking, that's sending your CV without checking. Wrong file name, e.g. you see some people after writing they'll say, my CV, final, maybe because they make use of, they edit the first one and then they tag it as final. It's a mistake that you need to avoid. Another mistake is ignoring instructions. When you're applying for a job, you need to know, follow every instruction and apply it accordingly. And then applying late is also a serious mistake that you need to avoid. These things matters more than you think. Now let's close this properly. Your CV is not something you create once and forget. It is something you build as you grow. Each time you learn, each time you improve, each time you gain experience, your CV should reflect it. So, don't wait to be perfect. Start where you are, improve as you go. Now you are no longer just visible, you are becoming presentable. Opportunities will come, and now you will be ready. But there is still one more step, because after your CV gets attention, you will be invited to speak. And many people fail here, they fail there. Not because they are not good, but because they are not prepared for interview. So, in the next episode, we will talk about how to prepare for interviews and answer questions confidently. Stay with me. We are not just helping you apply, we are preparing you to succeed. Thank you.